Hi everyone. Without further ado, let's start with chapter 2. Once the rain started, it came on fast, typical of the house of the night. Vincent joked often in his dry, sardonic way that this country never did anything halfway. The sun either assaulted us with unrelenting heat or it retreated completely beneath many layers of dusky red gray clouds. The air was arid and so hot you swore it would bake you alive, or cold enough to make your joints crack. Half the time the moon hid within the haze, but when it was visible, it gleamed like polished silver. Its light so intense it made the dips and hills of the sand resemble the waves of the ocean, or what I'd imagined such a thing would look like. It did not rain often in Nightborn Kingdom, but when it did, it was a downpour. By the time I made it back to the palace, I was soaked. My path up the side of the building was treacherous, each grip of stone slippery and water slicked. But it wasn't the first time I'd made the journey in the rain, and it wouldn't be the last. When I finally vaulted into my chamber, many stories above the ground, my muscle burned with effort. My hair was dripping wet. I wrung it out, sending a symphony of droplets splattering to the velvet bench beneath the window, and turned to the horizon. It was so hot that the rain summoned a silver cloud of steam over the city. The view from up here was very different than the one from the rooftop in the human quarter of the city. That had been an expanse of clay blocks, a painting of varying shades of brown squares beneath the moonlight. In the heart of Sevrenage, though in royal Nightborn territory, every glance overflowed with sumptuous elegance. The view from my window was a symmetrical sea of undulating curves. Nightborn drew their architectural impression from the sky and moon, metal-capped domes, polished granite, silver that cradled indigo-stained glass. From up here, the moonlight and rain caressed an expanse of platinum. The ground was so flat that even though Sevrenage was a massive city, I could still glimpse the dunes in the distance beyond its walls. Eternity gave vampires so many years to perfect the art of the dark, dangerous beauty. I'd heard that the House of Shadows across the Ivory Sea crafted their buildings in the way they crafted blades, each castle an intricate set of pointy spires sprawling with blood-kissed ivy. Some claimed theirs was the most exquisite architecture in the world, but I don't know how anyone could say that if they saw House of the Night as I did from this room. It was even stunning in daylight, and no one here but me could witness it. I carefully closed the window, and I had barely finished latching it when the knock sounded at my door. Two raps, quiet but demanding. Fuck. I was lucky I hadn't gotten here just a few minutes later. It had been risky to go out tonight, but I couldn't help myself. My nerves were too strained. My hands had to do something. I hastily removed my coat and tossed it into the discarded pile of clothes in the corner. Then grabbed my robe and wrapped it around myself. It would be enough to cover the blood at least. I rushed through the room and opened the door, and Vincent didn't hesitate before striding in. He gave my room a cold, judgmental once over. It's a mess in here. Now I knew how Ilana felt. I've had bigger things to worry about than cleaning. Keeping a tidy space is important for mental clarity, Uriah. I was 23, and he still lectured me that way. I touched my forehead as if he had just bestowed upon me information that rearranged my universe. Fuck, it is? Vincent Moonsilver eyes narrowed at me. You're an insolent brat, little serpent. He never sounded more affectionate than when he was insulting me. Maybe it meant something that both Ilana and Vincent cradled their tenderness in harsh words. They were so different from each other in every other sense, but maybe this place had made all of us that way, taught us to hide love in sharp edges. Now, for some reason, that rebuke made my chest clench. Funny, the things that make the fear finally bubble to the surface. I was scared, even if I knew better than to give a choice to it. And I knew Vincent was too. I saw it in the way his smirk slipped away as he looked at me. Some might think that Vincent was not frightened of anything. I did for a long time. I grew up watching him rule, watching him seize absolute respect from society that respected nothing. He was my father in name alone. Perhaps I didn't have his blood, or his magic, or his immortality, but I had that ruthlessness. He had cultivated in me, one thorn at a time. Yet, as I grew older, I learned that being ruthless was not the same thing as being fearless. I was afraid constantly, and so was Vincent. The man who was afraid of nothing was afraid for me, his human daughter, raised in a world designed to kill her. Until the Kajari, a tournament with the ability to change everything. Until I won and it freed me, or I lost and it damned me. Vincent blinked, and we both made the mutual silent decision not to voice such thoughts. He looked me up and down as if noticing my appearance for the first time. You're wet. I took a bath. Before training, I needed to relax. Well, that was true. I just decided to do it in a very different way than soaking in a lavender bath. Even that statement came a little too close to acknowledging the reality of our situation for Vincent's comfort. His mouth slanted and he ran a hand through pale blonde hair. His tell, his only one. Something was weighing on him. It could be about me or the impending trials or... I couldn't help but ask, what? I asked quietly. Trouble with the Rishan? He was silent. My stomach dropped. Or the house of blood? Or both? His throat bobbed and he shook his head. Yet that little movement was enough to confirm my suspicion. I wanted to ask more, but Vincent's hand fell on his hip, and I realized he had brought his rapier. Our work is more important than such boring things. There will always be another enemy to worry about. But you only have tonight. Come. Vincent was ruthless an instructor as he was a ruler, meticulous and thorough. I'd gotten used to this, but still the intensity of it caught me off guard tonight. He didn't give me time to think or hesitate between strikes. He used his weapon, his wings, the full force of his strength, even his magic, which he rarely employed in our training sessions. It was as if he was trying to show me exactly what it would be to like, what it would be like if the king of Nightborn vampires wanted me dead. But then again, Vincent had never held back with me, even when I was a child. He never let me forget how close death lingered.